Yes, I do realize that I already have a video on my playlist in my channel for winterizing or storing these two-stroke engines like this weed eater, this grass trimmer right here. If you want to see that one, I put a quick link up here for you in the information button. Check that out if you like. The problem with that video is that there's too many steps involved. It works great, but people want something easier. Now that's an old video. I think it's darn near 4 years old. In that time, I have been experimenting every year with coming up with a better way to winterize one of these things. The method that I'm going to show you today works just as good as that, if not better, but it's way, way easier. Welcome back to Steve's Small Engine Saloon, everyone. Thanks for tuning in again. There's my website right there. I got to do it. stevesmallenginesaloon.com. Check it out when you get a chance. Quick link up here for you in the information button as usual. Now, before we get into this video, I have to take you through something really quick here because I know that we're just going to get a ton of comments saying, well, why didn't you say this? So here we go. The best way for you to know if your weed eater, your grass trimmer is going to start in the springtime when you need it again is to exercise it. Set your alarm on your phone to go start this thing every month. Fire it up, rev it up 2-3 minutes till it's idling nice, and then go put it away again. Then you know in the springtime when you have to actually go cut some grass, you know it's going to start because you already know it just started like not even a month ago. That's the no-brainer way of doing it. But that's not exactly storing it now, is it? So unfortunately, there's a lot of controversy between small engine mechanics on this subject. You'll have one mechanic will say you have to absolutely run it dry so there's no bad gas that's going to deteriorate in there and cause a problem. Then the other mechanic is going to say, well, if you run it dry, then the metering diaphragm inside your carburetor is going to dry out and turn crispy, and then you have to rebuild your carburetor in the springtime. So you have to keep it full of fuel. Then the other mechanic's going to say, well, if you keep it full of fuel, all the bad stuff in the gas station fuel is going to, like you got your olefins, you got your ethanol, you got your benzene, all that stuff is going to it won't dry out your diaphragm, but it will deteriorate your diaphragm because all that bad stuff in the fuel, and it's going to turn hard and crispy anyways. So after 4 years of experimenting with this is the solution that I have came up with, and this works absolutely perfectly. Yep, some of you already guessed what I'm about to say. Canned fuel. Right there. I know this one is stihl Moto Mix. You can buy all kinds of different ones. I'm not saying use stihl Moto Mix. There's other ones out there. Husqvarna makes one. I think Echo makes some. There's other ones out there. There's Aspen Fuel. There's, I think there's one called VP. There's True Fuel out there. If you guys want to check some of this stuff out, I do have some links underneath this video in the description. So check that out. I'm not saying use one or the other. They're all like super fuels. They have no ethanol, benzene, olefins, all that stuff in there. I am also not saying to use this stuff on a regular basis. It's expensive. I'm saying use it to store it or to winterize it. So all you need to do is get rid of the gas station fuel that you already have in there. Don't dispose of it. Pour it right back in your gas can. It's still good fuel. It's just not good for storing your equipment. Dump all that out, get it out of there, and then refill your tank right to the top with your super fuel. I like calling this stuff super fuel. It says right on the can, on most of the cans, it'll say it's good for 2 years. It won't go stale or bad for 2 years after it's opened. Unopened, you stay on the shelf for way longer than that. So do that. Now what do you got to do? Take it outside and run it. I'm going to say run it for about 5 minutes. Just let it idle, rev it up a couple times, And by that time, the entire fuel system, including the carburetor, is going to be coated in the good stuff, and also your engine, your crankcase, your crankshaft bearings, your piston and cylinder, everything's going to be coated with the good stuff. That's not going to turn green and crispy on you over the winter. That's all I do anymore, and I think you'll be very happy doing that because it works. I know this, not because somebody told me, because I've been doing it and have experimented with it. Hey, you want to go one step further before you put it away? You can do your general maintenance now. You can clean your air filter. You can clean, all the grass off of your garden, everything. Refill your line and your spool so it's right full again. So in the springtime, when you want to fire it up and start cutting grass, you don't have to do anything. Start it and start cutting. That's the best part about this. You think $3 or $4 worth of super fuel in that tank is expensive? Well, try taking it in the springtime and getting them to fix it for about $100. So I really hope that I saved you some money. I think I just might have. Subscribe to my channel. Give me that thumbs up button. That would be really cool. Share this video with your friends, and absolutely, guys and girls, put some comments down in the comment section right under this video. Tell me what you think. I'm just telling you, that works for me. Hey, you want to watch something else now? There's one. Click on that one next. Watch that one. Till the next time, I'm working on another winterizing video, I think. Sleeman's Honey Brown. That works great for this job. You can use anything. Steve out.